Have you ever noticed how you feel after eating these days? Maybe you feel a little sleepy, your head gets a bit foggy, or it's harder to focus on the things you want to remember. You might tell yourself, "Oh, it's just age," or someone around you might say, "That's normal at our age." But what if I told you it's not just age? Today, I want to share with you 4 habits you should avoid after eating, and what you can do instead. These are small changes, nothing complicated, but they can have a huge impact on your memory, energy, and even how clearly you think in the afternoon and evening. And I'm going to walk you through them, one by one, like I would with a close friend. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Drop your city or state in the comments below. I always love seeing how far our community is reaching. Point 1. Avoid lying down after meals. One of the most common things people do after eating, especially in retirement, is lie down. Maybe you settle into your favorite recliner, stretch out on the sofa, or even go to bed if it's a late meal. It feels harmless. After all, you've eaten, you're full, and your body feels ready for a little rest. But here's the problem: lying down right after eating can silently hurt your brain over time, especially after the age of 60. Let me explain in simple terms. When you eat, your body sends a large amount of blood to your stomach and intestines to help with digestion. That's normal. But your brain also needs a steady flow of blood and oxygen, all day, every day, to keep your memory strong and your thoughts clear. If you lie down too soon after eating, gravity works against you. Your digestion slows down, your blood circulation becomes uneven, and acid from your stomach can move up into your food pipe. This leads to acid reflux, and you might think, it's just heartburn. But research now shows that chronic reflux can cause inflammation that spreads all the way to the brain, slowly affecting memory and mental sharpness. It doesn't stop there. When older adults lie down too soon after meals, they also risk something called aspiration pneumonia. That's when tiny amounts of food or stomach acid accidentally reach the lungs, especially if you're asleep or reclined. This reduces the oxygen your brain gets, and less oxygen means slower thinking, confusion, and eventually memory problems. In fact, a large number of pneumonia cases in seniors are tied to this exact issue. I worked with a woman named Mary, a vibrant 73-year-old who had a sharp memory. But she had a habit of lying down on the couch after meals. Within months, her memory slipped. She began forgetting simple things like names and appointments. Eventually, she was hospitalized for lung problems caused by reflux. We changed one small thing: she started staying upright after meals, even just sitting up or walking around the kitchen. Within a few months, her memory began improving again. So here's my advice: stay upright for at least 30 minutes after eating. 45 is even better. You don't have to do anything fancy. Just sit up, do light housework, or go for a short walk around the house. This small shift gives your brain the blood and oxygen it needs, and it protects your memory for years to come. Point 2. Avoid taking a hot bath right after eating. Now let's talk about something that many people find relaxing: taking a warm bath after dinner. It might seem like the perfect way to wind down, especially after a big meal. You've probably heard that it helps with sleep or soothes your muscles. But the truth is, taking a hot bath too soon after eating can be dangerous, especially for your brain and heart. Here's why. After you eat, your body is working hard to digest food. That process takes a lot of energy and, more importantly, a lot of blood. Around 30% of your blood flow gets redirected to your digestive organs after a meal. Now, when you step into a hot bath, anything over 104 degrees Fahrenheit, your body also starts sending blood to the surface of your skin to cool you down. That's two major systems fighting for the same blood supply at the same time. The result? Your brain and heart may not get enough blood. That can cause your blood pressure to drop suddenly, leading to dizziness, weakness, or even fainting. Some people experience blurry vision or a pounding heartbeat. In more serious cases, These sudden changes in blood pressure can lead to strokes or heart attacks, especially in older adults with weaker circulation. Let me share something personal. A few years ago, after dinner, I took a hot bath, like I'd done for decades. But that day, something changed. Within 5 minutes, I felt lightheaded, my heart raced, and my vision blurred. I nearly passed out in the tub. If my wife hadn't been nearby, I don't know what would have happened. Later, I learned my brain wasn't getting the oxygen it needed. That experience changed everything for me. I also treated a patient named James, a 68-year-old who used to bathe every evening after dinner. He began to experience memory loss and moments of confusion. When we moved his bath time to 2 hours after meals and reduced the water temperature slightly, his symptoms started improving. His cognitive test scores even went up. So what should you do? Wait at least 90 minutes, ideally 2 hours, after a meal before taking a hot bath. And when you do bathe, keep the temperature safe, between 100 degrees Fahrenheit and 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Stay hydrated before and after the bath with a full glass of water, and try not to stay in the tub longer than 15 minutes. If you're alone, let someone know you're bathing or set a timer for safety. This small habit can protect not only your memory but your heart and overall energy levels as well. Point 3. Avoid eating fruit immediately after meals. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you, eating fruit right after a meal. Most of us grew up hearing that fruit is one of the healthiest things we can eat. And it is, full of vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants. But the timing of when you eat it really matters, especially if you're over 60. Eating fruit immediately after a meal can quietly cause problems for your liver, blood sugar, and even your brain. Here's what's happening inside your body. After a meal, your blood sugar is already higher than usual. That's normal. Your body is busy handling the carbohydrates, protein, and fat you just ate. Now, when you add fruit on top of that, which contains a natural sugar called fructose, it becomes too much for your liver to process at once. Instead of using that sugar for energy, the liver starts converting it into fat. That fat builds up over time and can lead to fatty liver disease, something we now know is strongly connected to cognitive decline and early memory loss. One of my patients, Susan, was a healthy 70-year-old who loved eating fruit. She had a banana after breakfast, an apple after lunch, and an orange after dinner, every single day. But she started feeling tired all the time. She forgot little things, like where she put her keys or what time her appointments were. Her blood tests showed her liver enzymes were high, and her blood sugar was pre-diabetic, even though she wasn't overweight. We made one simple change: she stopped eating fruit right after meals. Instead, she had it an hour before eating or 2 hours after meals, as a separate snack. Within weeks, her energy came back. Her thinking became sharper. After 3 months, her blood sugar levels improved and her liver tests returned to normal. She told me, "I always thought fruit was good for me, I never imagined timing mattered so much." There's more. Recent studies show that fructose consumed right after meals increases brain inflammation. In fact, drinking fruit juice post-meal is even worse because it's pure sugar without the fiber. Just 1 glass of orange juice can have the sugar equivalent of 8 sugar cubes, which hits your bloodstream fast, causing a sugar spike, and then a crash. That crash leaves your brain starved for energy, making you feel foggy, tired, or forgetful. So what's the best time to eat fruit? There are 3 ideal windows. 30 minutes before breakfast, when your body can gently absorb the sugars. As a mid-morning or mid-afternoon snack, far from meals to avoid sugar overload. 30 minutes before exercise, when your body will burn the sugars for fuel. Avoid fruit right after meals, before bed, or when you already feel full. These are the times when fruit can silently work against your health, especially your brain. Point 4. Avoid intense exercise right after eating. Now let's talk about a habit that even the healthiest seniors sometimes get wrong: exercising too soon after a meal. You've probably heard how important it is to stay active as you age, and that's absolutely true. But when you exercise matters just as much as how. Doing intense workouts or even brisk walking right after eating can do more harm than good, especially to your brain. After a meal, your body is focused on one major task: digestion. That means it redirects a large amount of blood, about 30% of your total supply, to your stomach and intestines. Now, when you suddenly get up and start a high-intensity workout, your muscles start demanding that same blood flow. It creates a tug-of-war between your digestion and your muscles. And guess who loses? Your brain. When your brain doesn't get the oxygen and nutrients it needs, it can lead to lightheadedness, brain fog, or even long-term memory decline if the habit is repeated over years. I had a patient named Tom, a 65-year-old who prided himself on staying fit. For decades, he went on runs or did cardio just minutes after dinner. He thought he was doing everything right: slim waistline, strong heart. But when he came to see me, he had been getting confused while driving and forgetting names of people he'd known for years. We ran some tests, and his brain scan showed that his hippocampus, the area responsible for memory, had shrunk more than expected for his age. The culprit? Years of post-meal exercise, which repeatedly reduced brain blood flow when his body needed it most. I advised him to move his workouts to 2 to 3 hours after meals and to keep them at a moderate pace, something like brisk walking, light cycling, or gardening. After 6 months, his memory test scores improved by 30%, and his symptoms stabilized. Here's the key: exercise is not the problem. Timing is. The best window for exercise is a few hours after eating, when your body has digested the food and your blood sugar is more stable. That's when your brain actually benefits from physical activity, producing a special protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, that supports memory and focus. But right after eating? That same exercise suppresses BDNF, increases oxidative stress, and slows digestion, which can leave you feeling sluggish, not energized. So what should you do after a meal? If you want to move, go for a gentle 10 to 15-minute walk at a relaxed pace. No power walking. Just a slow stroll around the house or yard is enough to support digestion and keep your brain happy. Save the workout for later. Point 5. Avoid smoking right after meals. Now, this one might not apply to everyone watching, but if you or someone close to you still smokes, especially right after eating, please pay close attention. Smoking at any time is harmful, but smoking right after a meal makes things worse, especially for your brain health. Here's why. After eating, your digestive system is already using up a big portion of your blood flow. Your body is focused on breaking down food and absorbing nutrients. But when you smoke, nicotine causes your blood vessels to tighten, a process called vasoconstriction. That means the blood has a harder time moving freely, and your brain, which needs a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients, ends up getting even less than usual. Over time, this leads to lower brain oxygen levels, slower memory recall, and an increased risk of stroke or early dementia. I once treated a 75-year-old man who had been smoking after meals for over 20 years. He was still active, sharp in conversation, but his brain scans showed something shocking: he had the brain shrinkage of someone nearly 90. The loss of brain volume was directly connected to poor circulation, and post-meal smoking was a big factor. It's also important to know that right after a meal, your stomach produces more acid. Smoking at this time increases acid reflux, which not only harms your esophagus but, as we've already discussed, can even send inflammation signals to the brain through the vagus nerve. So, what can you do instead? If you smoke, try to delay it as long as possible after meals, at least an hour. Use that time to take a walk, drink herbal tea, or distract yourself with a simple activity like a puzzle or a phone call. Better yet, consider this your moment to begin quitting altogether. It's not easy, I know. But your brain, and your entire body, will thank you. Point 6. avoid drinking too much water right after eating. Drinking water is important, but timing matters, especially after meals. Many older adults believe drinking a full glass or two of water immediately after eating helps with digestion. But too much liquid right after meals can actually dilute your stomach acids, making it harder for your body to properly break down food. When digestion slows, more gas builds up, bloating increases, and essential nutrients may not be absorbed as well. This leads to something even more serious. Poor nutrient absorption over time means your brain doesn't get the vitamins and minerals it needs to stay sharp. For example, if your body can't absorb enough vitamin B12, iron, or magnesium, your memory and mood can suffer. I remember a woman named Ruth who felt full and sluggish for hours after every meal. She also had recurring headaches and memory lapses. She used to drink 2 full glasses of water right after eating, thinking it would wash everything down. When we shifted her water intake, sipping lightly during meals, but waiting 30 to 45 minutes after eating for her main water, her digestion improved, her bloating stopped, and her mental clarity returned within weeks. So here's the advice: sip small amounts of water during your meal if needed, but save your larger glasses of water for 30 to 45 minutes after eating. This small change helps your stomach do its job and ensures your brain gets the nutrients it needs to function at its best. You've just learned about 4 simple habits that can quietly harm your brain if you're not careful, and more importantly, you've learned how to avoid them. The good news is, you don't need special pills, expensive treatments, or complicated routines to protect your memory. You just need to make better choices in those quiet 30 to 45 minutes after each meal. So here's what I'd love you to do now: share this message with someone you care about. A friend, a spouse, or even a neighbor who might be struggling silently. One small tip could change someone's future. And if this helped you, if something here clicked in your heart or made you say, "That's me," then just comment, "I'm starting today." Let's hold each other accountable. Let's make these years sharper, stronger, and more joyful, together. Thank you for spending your time with me. I'm cheering for you, always. Here's a YouTube video description written in the same warm, conversational tone as your script, perfect for an older adult audience in the US. Brain 7 Dangerous Habits That Harm Your Brain After Meals, Especially After 60, Brain. Are you unknowingly hurting your brain right after you eat? Hi, I'm Doctor, your name, and after 60+ years in medicine, I've seen one thing over and over: the 30 minutes after a meal can shape your memory, focus, and long-term brain health. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 everyday habits that many older adults do, without realizing the damage they may cause. From lying down too soon, to eating fruit at the wrong time, to something as simple as that after-dinner walk, these small routines could be silently affecting your mind more than you know. In this video, you'll learn: white heavy checkmark why you should never lie down after meals. White heavy checkmark the truth about hot baths and blood pressure. White heavy checkmark why fruit might be harming your liver and memory. White heavy checkmark the best time to exercise to protect your brain. White heavy checkmark the real danger of smoking right after meals. White heavy checkmark how too much water can interfere with digestion. White heavy checkmark why mental stillness, like TV naps, after eating may slow your brain down. Bell if you're over 60 and want to protect your mind, feel sharper, and stay independent, this video is for you. Speech balloon let me know in the comments, which of these habits are you going to change first? Pushpin don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on simple, science-backed ways to live a longer, clearer, healthier life. Your future self will thank you. Let me know if you'd like a shorter version for mobile viewers or a custom thumbnail title plus tagline as well.